In this video, I am going to build a JavaScript logic to generate unique ID. Uh, so let's first write a function for generating our ID part. So it will be const get ID part, and it will receive a value as a parameter, and then let our ID part will be ID part is empty, and now for each character of our value and it will generate our ID part and here the function will receive a value parameter, and on the value parameter it will run a loop for loop, and it will take its character and generate a Unicode ID with its each character code. So let's check our ID part and convert its character from its char code. Char code at 0 and convert it into a string. Here each character of value will be converted into character code and in our ASCII code, and then the value will be also converted into our to string 36 radix, and after finishing the loop it will return our ID part. Now with this ID part we will also generate another ID part with our time function, which will be actually unique ID for each user or your component or your database. Time ID new date that we will take the current time from the new date JavaScript built-in function, and we will convert it into to string 36 radix. We'll add our that get UTC milliseconds. We will receive the milliseconds from here, and we will add with this our method random, and we will also convert it into a string. And since our method random can generate a large number, so we will substitute here. We will receive only 2. Now let's generate our ID. Const unique ID will be now let's call our ID part plus time ID. So Here in our get id part function are receiving a value parameter actually in string or number. So we can put any string or number here, but depending on your application or using purpose, you can provide here the value part. So for example, if you are making a website with user interfaces, so each user should have a unique email, so I am giving here the email address, for example daniel@gmail.com, and the time id. Oh, it will be a function, sorry. Okay, now if we console log our unique id, then we will see our unique id is generated. We also display the id here. Okay, so it is our generated unique id. You can also make it in different part. For example, if you want to generate it here with happen, you can use okay, it is you can make it as a part. Every time it will refresh, the id will be changed, because our time function will generate a new id from it, and but since our email address are not changing, so our this part will be fixed, but if the user is changed, then the email address will be changed, and so at that time this part will we will get every time unique for each user, and for each user for generating more data, this part will be generate the unique id. So every time I will refresh, you can see here that the id is changing from just here, not from here. Okay, if we change our email address, then we can see that it will change this part of our unique id, Daniel or David. So this way we can generate our unique id for our data, or to use in our special case. Also you can call this function with any other value or multiple times to generate more unique id.